Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League Season 6, Week 5. My name is NightFiree. I am joined here over the roar of the thunder of Downpour Interactive with Buxton. Buxton, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and it feels good to be back casting a Animal House match.
Very true indeed. We've had an exciting start to this season so far. Some good matches out the gate. Animal House is playing very well, but I think Phoenix also have been putting up good fights. I think they went up against SMC Tactical last, and I believe it was a pretty good series. Like a really close series.
Yeah, it was incredibly close. It was 8-9. They did actually beat SMC Tactical on points, though losing in terms of map wins. So,
going into this one, this is not going to be a slow-paced series. It's not going to be a stomp, I don't think, by any means. It should be a pretty competitive side-by-side battle.
Absolutely.
Just kind of going into it, too, hopping into our picked bans. We do have Phoenix banning Bazaar.
Yep.
And then our second ban, Animal House, banning Q1. So what does that mean? Deductive reasoning, Buxton. What does it mean? What's coming up?
Deductive reasoning. I expect to see Cargo, which we can see is our first map here, so you can jot that one down. But for the second and third maps, I'm thinking we will likely see Downfall 1, and also maybe Suburbia. That's what I'm thinking. Because Animal House did say they want to play Suburbia.
Give me a second here as I hop into this lobby. We should be getting into this match pretty soon. I think both teams' lobby is created and they're firing things up as we speak. Buxton, I'm going to put you on the spot as usual. Who do you think is going to take away this series?
Well, to avoid cursing them, I'll say that I may curse whatever team I choose, but I believe it will probably be Animal House. So maybe it's a little bit of favoritism playing into that, but I think they will take it away. But compared to how last cast we did on the 1st of October, at least in my time, that was Burning Chrome vs Animal House. I don't think it'll be as one-sided as that. Though the individual rounds were close, I expect it to be much closer point-wise as well during this match.
Kind of talk about our first map here, Cargo, as well. It is an interesting one to start with. You know, most teams kind of tend to pick a little bit wider range map to get loose on. Although Suburbia, I guess, is also picked usually. But I don't think like you can really play Cargo very slow, and if you do, you can get caught out into some bad situations. So both teams getting loose here for the first round of Cargo. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I don't really quite know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain either, although we did see Animal House during the last match play quite aggressively. Lots of very nice coordinated smoke plays, pushing in quite unified as a team. I hope we can see more of that, and I do expect at least 1 or 2 plays like that to come out during this map, or at the very least during this entire match. So I'm not really sure how Phoenix is going to approach that or defend against it.
Yeah, that is very true. We did have this just the other day. I think it was only like 2 or 3 days ago. Animal House played Cargo, and you're right. They had, I think they were throwing 7 or 8. I mean, it was consistent smoke usage too. So I wonder if Phoenix are going to be ready for that, if they've done their homework by any means, watched any footage. Who knows?
I would hope they did, because they only did play a match, what was it, 1 day ago, your time, 2 days ago, my time, something like that.
Yeah, it felt like it's been hardly 24 hours.
But the one thing that I think they will be a little bit scared of is Animal House and Suburbia. Because Animal House did say they haven't been able to play Suburbia in a month and a half, and I have a feeling they said that they like that map, so I'm interested to see how Phoenix will approach their defense and offense on that map.
Without any further ado, we are going to get into the first round of the first map of this series of Animal House vs Phoenix. Should be a tight one, should be high octane. Animal House starting off on the offensive, and I'm expecting lots of smokes and a hard aggressive push out of these guys right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling as well, but we are always cursed and we may be very, very wrong. But look at those smokes, it's pretty undeniable that they will play fast now.
Toold's pushed up into a pretty aggressive forward position. I think he's going to try and catch out some early aggression from Green Theft. The shots and the push from Willow distracts him, and Willow's really pushing up hard. Some interesting defensive positions out of these guys. Spots I haven't seen getting taken up here.
Yeah, and we have Green Theft Auto. He's trying to go for the cap here. He's actually moving up, and no, it's not going to work out until it also went down on that flank.
Gibbs finally gets picked up by Enacker. Officer Statham trying to find 3 members over here. He's got a lot to deal with. But if amongst the trades, it's a 2v3. Phoenix with a res possible, but that's not realistic.
Yeah, if they can take advantage of this remaining smoke that unfortunately has now cleared, if they could have took advantage of that, they might have been able to take down Zach Fontaine in the corner, but they should expect him to be there, and I expect a nade coming his way relatively soon, if nothing else.
Looks like Officer Statham is going to pull one out. Toss it over to the 3. I think it's a bit too far to the right. It doesn't land on anybody.
But Gibbs is in a really good position to actually call members of Animal House out by that crate. They have no idea he's there, and he can just have free reign. As you can see, Boxroy's got took it down as he called him out.
I heard that left side call out from Leroy. Nice nade, doesn't land on the Statham. It's going to be up to Enacker and his teammate Stevens, who's rotating around to that tunnel. Wow, that res finally does come off. A clutch res here. Now it's a 3v2.
That's a very important res, and Steven, he might be able to do some work on lane 1 here, or rather tunnel lane, never mind. Zach also goes down, he's the last one left. He's going to have to really get lucky with Zach and Gibbs here.
Steven, I think, can shoot right through these boxes onto Gibbs. Like, that box is not a secure position. You're very vulnerable to bullets here. If Steven heard those shots or has any idea that Gibbs is here, he just has to dump some rounds through that crate, and he's got him dead to rights.
But will he expect him to be there? Because he can't really afford to give away his position just by pre-firing spots there. He may or may not be in, because you never ever see someone take that position. I've never seen someone take that position. So I don't know if he'd expect him to be there in any capacity, or if he will realise that you can actually shoot through those black boxes. But Steven is definitely in a harsh position right now. He's last man left, and he's kind of back cover, but never mind, he does shoot through it. He must have seen something poking out or something.
Yeah, I think he finally saw the tail end of that Volk backpack, and does manage to graze a few shots there and gets away with one. It's still a 2v1 in favor of Phoenix, and Steven's doing a long rotation.
Long rotations are pretty important to do when you're kind of the last man left and you have plenty of time remaining at your disposal, because you can go from one side of the map, kill some guy, go to the other side, kill another guy, and just do whatever you want to for that last final push, because really they have no clue where you can come from, considering you're not going to be giving away your position or your rotations unless you're doing something incredibly stupid.
I think a pretty common trend at Animal House that I see with Animal House too is Steven is usually one of the last ones alive. That guy, I don't know if he's a backline sort of player or what, but he somehow always manages to just be the last surviving member of Animal House.
Yeah, that is a trend we've seen quite a lot. We saw him during the last match as well, though I'm not sure. Maybe he's just good with his fullbacks and good with his peeking or something like that, because I think he has been relatively forward with the rest of his team.
Yeah, I don't really recall him sitting in the back, so just an interesting observation. He is going to have to take up Zach Fontaine on this left side if he wants any hope of pushing forward any bit more. Statham also a potential threat, but I think that'll be something he addresses later on.
Yeah, as long as Officer Statham doesn't peek over towards him through the kind of death lane there,
right
he
here
could potentially get into the East Arc.
If Steven tries to cross right here, Statham may be looking.
Look at that tin can distraction over towards Zach Fontaine.
I didn't see any movements out of Zach.
Totally unfazed.
Wonder if he can move up here and pillage his teammate, maybe find a potential frag there on the ground. I don't know if there's anything there available for him. Statham is going to peek here. Steven is super exposed. Statham should find this kill.
He absolutely should, but maybe he's not going to peek around that box. He does seem a little bit wary. Steven's dicing with death here. 60 seconds left.
Utilizing all that time to slow crouch his way. He's not going to have any chance of sneak capping this objective.
Absolutely no chance, though. Maybe he can take down Zach Fontaine and rush it, or some insane play like that. the chance of that happening is abysmal. But Zach really the linchpin of their defense here. He has to go down if Steven wants to do anything at all.
Steven's going with the push. Zach sees the cross, a nice easy pick. Phoenix takes their first round and the first round of the series.
Nice and smooth. They did have some issues at the very start with that nice coordinated push. Maybe too old. If he had kind of gone down that flank a little bit harder, go through the spawn instead of straight at them from the side of the tunnel, he might be able to snag more than just one. And that could have been massively changed the tides a lot earlier on in the match.
Yeah, and you want to talk about key players there. Zach Fontaine gets that final kill, but also managed to pick up 3 in that round. And I mean, you watch Animal House's playstyle, they really went heavy on the smokes on objective. They were going for a hard cap on objective. Just couldn't pull through with it, though. Zach managing to really deny entry points.
Yeah, I'm just calling out the lineup for the team just because people are requesting it in chat.
I know. Provide near perfect introductions with almost 0 hiccups. Perfect audio, no issues. There's always something.
Just complain.
Always something. We're looking at the roster right now anyway once you go into scoreboard so they can figure it out for themselves who's on what team.
Now that we've seen how Animal House played that offensive with the nice coordinated smokes pushing straight up the center, how do you think Phoenix is going to try and approach it? Because I reckon they're going to be doing the same kind of thing, but maybe coming up through tunnel or the eastern flank a little bit harder.
Yeah, they may opt in. Yeah. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I think they may play it like I can see them playing the super slow too and conservative. You know, some teams they just sit back in these cargo holds and wait. With a team like Animal House, it's not a terrible idea the way they play. They're super aggressive. You might be able to catch an early Volk move or something like that.
Possibly, because you can see they're already throwing at least one smoke.
Yeah, the pre-fire from Gibbs finds Willow through that corner. A real common push. Zach Fontaine pushing up towards Steven here as well.
Steven managed to get that smoke out of the way. That's a good one. And also shots come over towards Green. They're very close.
Really nice nade. Doesn't quite land inside. Enacker nades Steven. Here comes the follow-up nade. That might confirm him.
Absolutely will. Taking down Steven. That is not what you want at the very start. A team kill nade.
Not at all. Zach Fontaine. Another one from Statham. The nades raining in on Animal House right now. Man, Phoenix, this is their approach. They're utilizing those frags. They're making their way in here nicely. Zach Fontaine's pushed up. Lots of smokes. Another confirmation frag comes out. Fantastic moves from Phoenix.
And Zach Fontaine's about to pick Green Theft Auto, but it's not going to work out, and he's going to go down instead. That still only leaves 2 members of Animal House up and 3 in Phoenix. So that's a good advantage still.
Almost pushed up aggressively here. Again, none of these crates provide any sort of bullet cover, so as soon as he's spotted here, he's done. Nice shots from Enacker. Catch the rotation, and now it's a 2v2.
Just see how they'll deal with Enacker's position here, because it's quite hard to get a nade in there if they have any left even. But Green Theft should be a relatively easy takedown for them, considering how aggressively he's playing that Barrows position.
Oof, Enacker almost catches 2-willed in another rotation. And yeah, this looks very similar to what we had last round. Both guys taking the exact same defensive positions. Green Theft in that really strong corner spot. Like you're saying, if there's no nades they can scavenge off dead teammates, it's going to be hard to get in there.
Yeah, but at least Gibbs is going to peek this nice and slow, like going almost through, but he gets him anyway. Didn't need to prone at all.
Wow, he finds 2 with a fantastic snapshot. The trade and Phoenix get themselves a Marsoc win and go up 2-0.
That was a perfect snapshot. I didn't even see that. Just suddenly I heard some shots and suddenly it was a round win for Phoenix. I kind of wish I saw that. You must get a replay of that NightFiree.
I don't know if I saved it in time.
Unbelievable.
I guess we could always give it a little testaroo, huh?
But at least with this objective now, we have the southwest objective, courtyard open objective.
Nope.
And Animal House are liking their aggression with this kind of thing, it seems. I expect more smokes, more nades, because they haven't used nades to much effect recently, or at least in the past 2 matches, this one included.
I did not catch the replay. I just missed it. I caught the tail end of the shot. I caught the trade. That's not what we're looking for. There was a really good snapshot out of him, and kind of curious to see who on Phoenix is a mount user, who's not. It's always fun to kind of figure out where the strengths lie in the players. You know, if they're good pulling up those controllers by themselves, or if they use a Pro Tube or something of their own creation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zach or Gibbs are mount users. I think Gibbs might be.
I think Gibbs is, yeah, because I know I've seen a lot of pictures of Phoenix using stocks. I know Mano is a stock user for certain, because he uses Smithy's stock, I believe, the one he designed. At least going in now, we're going to be seeing how Animal House aggressively attacks this. I'm expecting the smokes, as I said. I'm expecting, hopefully, some more nades that are a bit more on point than the previous rounds, because Animal House has not really used lanes too much. They've kind of abused them.
Yeah,
I've forgotten them, rather.
I expect a really hard push up the middle here to get into objective and trying to cap maybe around some sort of cargo wall or something. Here come a ton of smokes to make sure they secure themselves in positions. Willow and Gibbs again. Gibbs finds the kill here on the corner. The push behind the smoke. Screen step getting up. He pushes up any harder and finds Gibbs. He's in position to cap. Gibbs surprises see Green there with pad out. Might also find Steven here. Steven with the kill. Steven can push up and get objective here, but Too Old comes up and it's just Frag City in the center here by objective. BuxtonWater now looking for Too Old. Makes the cross, spots Too Old in the corner, gets the kill. Malno on the back end, and we're into a 1v3.
What an action-packed round so far. We're only 40 seconds in. This might be another incredibly fast cargo round coming out from Animal House. Although, unfortunately, they'll lose this one.
Little info here, you may be hearing some comms that is not live for the players. It's an audio bug for us.
Do not listen to the voices of the dead. Only we can hear it as floating spirits.
Sounds like some complaints about maybe some lag. It's always hard to deal with, especially in VR. Enacker, though, the final member, is going to have to deal with Malno, then Zach, and lastly, Officer Statham if he wants any chance of capping this.
He does have all the ammo in the world, but considering the position he's already in, he's unlikely to make it out of it alive. Though BuxtonWater is probably calling out a lot of info for Enacker. He's still alive on that western front. Yeah, he is actually calling out a lot of info, and Zach's going to go for the confirm.
Enacker looking for the peaks. I think Malno is going to find the picks here. I don't think Enacker, unless he pre-fires this wood, is going to have a shot. He may spot him between the cracks. I don't think he sees him, and Malno's not looking, so they're going to pass. Zach gets picked. Malno comes up for the shots. He finds him. Phoenix go up 3-0.
That was a nice position from Mano there. That was a really nice position to catch Enacker on the free flag. He had the good cover. He had the possibility to come back to the objective, assuming it wasn't someone coming through tunnel. It was just an all-round good kind of rotation position for that final man that needs to play somewhere.
This Phoenix team is looking strong. Gibbs and Zach both with 5 kills apiece. I mean, nobody's really...
curse.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. Who'd you pick again?
I picked Animal House.
Okay, and last time, who'd you pick? You picked Burning Chrome last time?
I picked Animal House, but I said it would be close.
Okay, well that was, I guess... So is it... I don't know if it's really a curse as much as you're just, like, wrong.
I think it classes as a curse. I'm wrong every time.
I'm going to make note of this in my notes here. Buxton... We'll say Buxton equals... Would you say... You said Animal House for this one? Okay, yeah, you're totally, definitely cursed them here. Last one, you said Buxton equals close, and it was not close at all.
Yeah.
Don't sit behind those crates there, because remember, those crates are completely...
Okay. Alright, we're just compiling facts, you know?
Going straight to the Onward Hall of Shame as the worst cursor in the community.
That's that OC5 cold everybody's got going around. It is always
At least now Phoenix will have their chance on the objective. Hopefully going to be more effective than Animal House was on their offense last time.
Yeah, they really need to grab themselves this round. I mean, to come out 0-4. I mean, is this is Phoenix's choice?
This was Animal House's choice, I believe, because they were on Marsok first.
Okay. Yeah, they really need this round. I mean, you don't want to give up your map this heavily. Granted, we have seen maps getting traded back and forth. Willow pushing up pretty aggressive. Might be able to find Malno in the corner here. Does indeed grab him. Too Old also might be susceptible. I don't think he heard those shots in the confusion. And the foot shot coming out from Willow. Pushes up here. Might find Gibbs. That's 3 for Willow. He's going on a rampage. Can he find Zach? That's 4. Here comes the 5th. Statham on the left side. Willow is going insane. He gets team killed.
Oh, an unfortunate stop to his incredible tear right there, but he may be able to have a little shot with Green Theft right in the back. And there you go.
Wow, Animal House dominating the round. Wow, that was Willow. Oh, baby. Take this, huh?
Yeah, he went on an absolute tear though. I'm not sure how Tool didn't hear him coming up that western shed, but I guess he didn't, and he just shot him straight in the back as he came around that doorway. A tear though, eliminating 4 members of the team in what? You'd call that 10 seconds?
Oh, dude, that was awesome to see. I mean, he just got into the back of everybody.
Yeah, I did not expect one.
I would also like to note that he was 0 for leading up to here. So for 3 rounds, he had no impact for his team. He was 0-2. So I feel like Onward's kind of unique in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, you can really almost carry any given round. You can come back at any point and save your team if you just can turn it on that one time, you know?
Yeah, because once you can kind of set that snowball going, get that kind of pace back on your side, you can really turn the tables. But getting that pace on your side and getting the mindset of your team on the right side is probably the hardest thing to do if you're 3-0 down on your map pick on the first map. That's really, really bad for your kind of team's morale.
Tossing some jabs out in chat, always fun. Appreciate you guys stopping in. If you are tuning in here, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, use your Twitch Prime. Please, you'll love it.
Please, we beg of you.
You'll love it. It's going to be great. Everything you've dreamed, all your dreams will come true. I think that's,
we need that,
I think that's
emote
confirmed. Yeah, we do. We need all
nice.
sorts of emotes.
We need an NA emote, an EU emote. EU can be a slug or a snail, something along those lines. And NA is just some big explosion. But look at this smoke already. You can tell what Animal House is planning on doing.
Phoenix not really pushing anybody forward. Malno actually relocating some of those smokes and getting himself up into a nice spot. Willow, again, getting aggressive. He's feeling good. He might be able to find Zach on the corner. He does, and he's up and at him. Can't find Gibbs with a nice headshot. Denies that entry point.
Green was also taken down the sentry shed by Mano, but Inaka seems to be behind him. He might be able to go along this eastern front without too much difficulty.
Lots of shot outs over towards the tunnel entry point, so they're watching that. Malno with the flank finds himself with 1. Enacker should be looking over here, but he won't be able to see him with the line of sights, and using that smoke, Malno's relocating. Nice frag.
Incredibly tight angle, and that's frag. Very nice.
Frags. Steven goes down, and Statham goes down. Phoenix grabbed themselves that last round they needed and take the map 4-1.
Yeah, they really didn't expect that flank of Mano again, because they lost a member and almost lost another. Steven as he came past him though, just narrowly missed him due to the smoke. But we saw Mano using that flashlight again. He really likes that flashlight, and it seems to work pretty well for confusing and dazing the opponent he's going up against.
A really strong start for Phoenix as they challenge and take on Animal House, who's a squad that have been looking really good. They've been looking really strong as of late, and like someone that I think the top tier teams should be watching out for. Phoenix equally so. I remember Sickness saying that Phoenix was a hard series, and I mean they went to the they went to the OC5.
Yeah. And they came, what was it, 3rd place? I believe so. Yeah, it was. Actually, no, it was tied 3rd and 4th, I believe, because no way to decide 3 and 4 exactly. That was a really close match for SMC Tactical and Phoenix. It was Quarantine 1. Phoenix took it 4-0 against SMC Tactical. Totally uncontested on that first map, which is something very rarely see from a team as high up as SMC Tactical.
Cool. I just got tagged a lot in some channel.
Some channel?
Yeah. I don't know what channel. Discord. How do I mute Discord?
You can click on your icon bottom left, do not disturb.
Sorry, I thought once I picked
that was
it,
weird. Sorry for all those notifications.
You can see the second map now if you want to bring up that war room. Suburbia. And it's starting off with that send house objective as well. That is rough for Animal House. This is Phoenix's map pick, of course, and giving them the chance to attack the center house. It could either go really well or really badly, depending on how kind of solid their push is coming up through the center lane and up those stairs. Because that could either be an easy cap or a complete and utter failure, and it's an easy point for Animal House. Oh, Phoenix has brung in Squiguken as a reservist. Not entirely sure what went wrong with, believe something, I don't know. But a member of Phoenix has been subbed out and reservist Squiguken has been brought in. I'm not entirely sure why. I believe was somebody, I can't remember his name. Take a look. Oh, never mind. Apparently, Squiguken is on Phoenix. Apparently, I just never realized.
Huh. He was,
I'm totally out of the loop.
He definitely was in chat, tuning in, watching the stream, so maybe he's grabbing some info on how they've been playing.
Possibly.
Did you say Phoenix is on, Squiguken's on Phoenix?
Yeah, he is. Officer Statham subbed out for him.
No,
He's
that's it.
actually
Yeah,
on the
no,
official
I remember
roster.
that. I remember that because I believe last time we were tuning into Phoenix, I saw Squiguken there, but he was grayed out. I think he was in his wait period, so I think that's a new acquisition. If I'm not, I mean, obviously, right?
I'm 99% certain it is, or maybe I'm thinking of Poopachu, who's the reservist. I think I might be.
Okay, well,
I do
don't-
confuse the two
Yeah,
very
you might be confusing me inadvertently, so it's all Buxton's fault, really.
Blame me, blame me.
No.
I'm sure I'll get shouted at by like Smithy in chat in a very short period of time.
Statham has joined us in chat. Good games, sir. Welcome in, and we will be hopping into our second map of the series. Animal House need to win this one if they want to hang on and duke it out in the final map. They're going to be starting off on the defensive rather with this middle house objective like we were talking earlier, and we'll see what happens.
I will expect
Yeah, go ahead.
probably Animal House to take this. That's what I'm thinking. I may curse them.
Oh, Jesus. Buxton, yeah, be careful, man.
Now, it's interesting to see that this was Phoenix's pick, not Animal House. So maybe Animal House wasn't too sure about wanting to actually take Suburbia against Phoenix there.
Did they opt into maybe Volk defense and let them pick the map?
I believe so, yeah, because Animal House was the away team, so Phoenix gave up their map pick and took Volk for the first map.
Okay. Interesting. Well, they don't have that advantage here. Lots of pre-fire coming out from these guys. That's all that is. They're shooting through the wood, trying to find some picks at predetermined positions. None of this obviously landing on anybody here.
See, that spawn house position might be quite a strong position for them to take, especially on that second floor. Enaka, as long as he plays his cards right, he could be a very, very powerful force for Animal House, watching over those stairs with a nice cover from the tree outside, and in general being just a menace for Phoenix.
Yeah, he's got that APC side covered. He can rotate around and just watch that south street. Boxtoy's inside bottom floor corner, a nice spot, making sure he doesn't clip through the walls either.
Not being too careful as his leg is outside of the building in the plant pot.
Yeah. Won't be spotted because he's safe in that door there blocking him, but nice shots from Nalno. Actually, Enacker, rather. He rotated around, went to a different window, and found himself a shot in the center.
Yeah, they'll expect Too Old and Zach Fontaine to try and get some follow-up shots if he peeks too close to those windows. They're ready and poised on lane 4 here.
Sorry, repeat, what area is he looking at?
Yeah, they are. And I mean, stacking up here, not actually the wisest of decisions. A well-placed nade or some good suppressifier could really catch both of you out.
So, yeah, I think they might have seen Inaka move out there, though. I think it was on the other side of the wall instead. So it should be safe, but it all depends on if he gets too close to these windows. As long as he stays far enough back, he should be in a good way.
Zach may be able to avoid a lot of sight from Enacker here if he just tugs this wall, open himself up to the shots from Willow, but really nobody else is watching the South Street. Everybody's worried about the entry points into that house.
Yeah, that is probably the best choice to take, honestly, because the South Street can be an issue if it's taken over by the Marsop team, but as long as you don't stand up inside center house or don't get unlucky and they throw nades straight through the windows, you should be totally okay to really give up on that southern flank. Though it's nice to put a guy in there, but you can see Zach Fontaine's trying for this kind of clearing of the south.
Like you said, he should expect Enacker in there. He may even heard the footsteps. Squigukian finds Will-O-Wisp. Shots from ACC. Enacker should be looking over here.
Would hope so, and along with the Too Old, he's looking for the follow-up though, and he got him. He was waiting for him to peek out those windows, and it did not work well.
Yeah, and Phoenix, they're looking really good right now. They have command of the South Street. They can get up into that 2-story and fire some shots into this building as they enter in. All sorts of options are available to them right now. See what exactly they do to enter in. Box Toys is probably their most exposed Volk member here. His foot might be seen by any one of these given members, and I don't think he's looking left here. Squig doesn't spot him in the corner. He does get one in that bottom floor. Squig peeks up and finds Box. Gibbs trying to pick up Steven in that 2-story through the window, and he's not finding the shots he needs.
All they need to do right now is throw a nade up there and possibly take down 2. Steven did get tagged there by Gibbs, but it's not going to be enough, unfortunately.
That was a bad nade
from Steven.
He goes up. Steven finds the shots. I think maybe Gibbs was moving in off those kills sounds. Another nade comes up towards Green Theft, and they both come out, and it finds 2. Phoenix go up 1-0.
That is exactly what Phoenix wants starting off there. What a perfect nade taking down those 2. That is beautiful. Hope you can clip that, NightFiree. Gotta clip something.
You know what? I don't need your attitude, bud.
What's up, guys?
Let's see if we got it, everybody. We'll head on over to the replay scene, see if it's playing. Oh, that's the old replay. I want this one. There it is. We got it.
Yay.
Oops, I went to the wrong room. Damn it, Buxton. Everybody, those transitions are all Buxton's fault. He's making me do more work. And blame him.
Someone's taking that porch. I'll take.
At least
I'll take right
NightFiree
here.
won't stay on the scoreboard now, thanks to the beautiful in-game screens we have now.
Indeed, we are going to get mirrored objectives, so we'll see how Animal House are going to approach this upstairs attempt. It's been kind of interesting to see the top-tier teams at OC5 try and take on Suburbia. You kind of just see almost bodies getting flung up the stairs just in hopes of trading or finding kills, and eventually you have one left alive in there to get a cap. But I like to see strategies trying to get grenades up into those windows, trying to smoke out the 2-story, stuff like that. I think if they can just honestly take away the window grates Like, I don't, like, just, let my immersion be damned, you know? And just take off the window grates and let nades go into the windows, because that would open up all sorts of entry options, grenade options, flash options, if you wanted to try and take this two-story.
It would make the two-story much more dangerous, though, because being in that second floor would be instantaneous suicide. Though it would be interesting to see how that kind of changed the meta on positions for the center house objective. I was having some jittering issues, apparently. Not really something you want when you're trying to take an objective like center house, where you kind of need your aim to be relatively on point.
Yeah, and you can kind of see a different sort of defensive approach here. Nobody really going into that two-story, and I feel like a little bit of weak coverage as Animal House almost utilizing that weak point. They're going to approach from the east.
Yeah, I do expect Suryuken playing his usual position to be a force for good for Phoenix there. I expect him to take down maybe Green Theft if he decides to push up too far, or possibly like Will-o'-the-Wisp or someone like that. Oh, look at that beautiful nade! Gibbs threw that out of the window and it burned it perfectly right next to Green Theft.
Bounced up over that roof. Willow is going to rotate around and try and find the res. We'll see if Gibbs can capitalize on that rotation as well. He's looking.
But maybe he's not confirming the kill or something to try and get the bait out, but no, he's abandoning it. He's out of there.
Willow also throwing out a smoke just to be safe. He's not really going to do much. Actually does nothing, but he manages to rotate around and find that res.
It's unfortunate. If Gibbs had continued to watch that angle, that would have been an easy 2K, only a minute into the map.
Yeah, I think Gibbs sees that smoke and maybe realizes his error. Now keeping his eyes over there, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, we do have also Green Theft. He's ready to nade. He's ready to throw it. I expect it to go over towards Suryuken's position, as it's relatively common for him to take that. I've seen him take it every single time he's played this map with Phoenix.
Also,
his team, because he's not reservist.
Something to note there too, as Green Theft approached, he checked his time. I'm willing to wager that Animal House might be on a sort of schedule here, as these 3-2 push is looking pretty nice and coordinated. It does look like Green Theft. Yeah. Right where you said. Willow rotates around to find Squig. He can't get him. Meanacker goes down from Too Old. Willow's trying to rotate around to the backside of Squig. Squig has to turn here in time. He doesn't. Willow finds a kill, but he gets refragged from Zach.
An interesting position on that southern flank, watching over. Good vision, but really bad cover and concealment. He's got to be very careful with rotations or popping off any shots, which is good to see that he's using a silencer for that position.
Yeah, Box Toys might get punished by Mauno here if he decides to do another little peek like he just did. He's got a lot to deal with here as Zach finds him through that wood. Some nice shots. I think he managed to crouch up onto some sort of chair and, I mean, dialed him in.
Again, we see that Steven is the last man alive for Animal House, but this time he was sitting back. He was way back there.
It's going to be tough for him to do much of anything here. He's in a 1v4 situation. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, though, and you know he is known for trying to utilize all that time, so he may be sitting here and watching the Steven show as he makes this Volk team a little nervous.
Back to that, but Animal House's offense this round has been rather unfortunate. They got the early down on Green Theft Auto on that lane 1 from that fantastic nade from Gibbs rather. They got lucky with the revive, but unfortunately that western flank was just dominated. They couldn't take down Squiggy with a nade. It wasn't cooked long enough. The push from Willow was refragged after he took down Suryuken by Zach Fontaine. And they just left alone now because the lane 4 was also collapsed from just center house peaks. They just couldn't deal with it. Now it's all going to be left to Steven.
I have my replay ready for Steven to do a 1v4 here. have you know, Buxton.
I'll be glad to see it if Steven can pull off something like that. He only has a minute and a half remaining, which is going to be a rough one. What is this pre-fire from Gibbs? It's kind of disturbing.
I was kind of wondering the same. I think he got nervous earlier on with that smoke and was just sort of dumping rounds into it, but now, not sure what he's doing. Maybe just sending out some distractory rounds, if anything. He's hearing things, I think, is what's going on.
Yeah, I think he might be hearing like Mano, and it's just freaking him out a little bit. There's definitely no one over there. There's not been someone over there for a long time. Maybe Zach Fontaine didn't call out his kill onto Willow as he pushed up that western flank. Maybe. We'll have to see.
He's coming up. He doesn't get the shots off, and Too Old secures the kills. Phoenix trying to take this series as they go up 2-0 on Suburbia.
Yeah, Phoenix are definitely not concerned with playing about here. They're playing very seriously. They've only died 4 times in 2 rounds, which is kind of a rare thing to see, and it kind of shows how well they're playing this map, at least so far. But I think you could say how well they've been playing this entire match. And I definitely cursed Animal House, because it looks like currently Phoenix might take this whole series away and take it for the win.
Yeah, you're really not good luck, man.
I'm sorry. If I ever go to like OC6, it'll just be a disaster.
Oh,
Everything will
God.
set on fire.
People will pay you to not predict their team, I think.
I think so. It'll be a good income source. This could be an interesting objective coming up next to see. This is the northwest objective on the white car. I would expect Phoenix to kind of either do 2 things. Push up hard on the west, or kind of send their main force around the east and flank from the north. If I don't see either one of those things, my prediction abilities are completely and utterly destroyed.
I don't.
Either way,
I think now you're not going to see either one of those things, because you said it. If we're going
yeah,
with
it does
history.
confirm that my prediction abilities are shot.
We'll see what the plan is. Animal House really need this round. They can grab this one and then maybe pull something out of their hat with another Marsoc round. They can get back into it, but if they just let Phoenix run away with the momentum, they got no chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
VR
I
just...
think they may be going for a pre-fire.
Yes.
Oh, well, they do. They're watching it as well, but I think, yeah, Phoenix does dump a lot of it, so we'll see if they shoot any while they're on Marsoc. And if you are just tuning in, there's that brief fire. If you are just tuning in, we've run our second map here. First one went to Phoenix 4-1, and now they're winning 2-0 on Suburbia.
That's a weird smoke coming out from Animal House there, hit way in the south street. Don't know what it was even intended to do. Maybe they just wanted to throw for fun. Shots coming from Willow. Narrowly missing Mano there. He really dodged that.
Willow's pushing him, and he doesn't know that he was alive. I think he thought he killed him after Mano hit the deck and managed to get the refrag. A really nice move there. Animal House are down now, a member 4-5.
Mano must have some elbows and knees of steel to drop down that quickly, because that was no joke, and Gibbs failed to throw his smoke out the window. Not so good compared to last rounds.
Picks it up and goes for round number 2. It doesn't quite roll the way he's used to.
It rolls
either.
all the way back.
Oh!
Actually, dangerous nade lands directly on Mano there. Beautiful. Inaka doing good work.
I think he kind of like hook shot that one up over the top of the roof. It dribbled back down on the other side of the lane and found a kill. He's got to get around. Actually, he doesn't have to confirm that because of that earlier work from his teammate. The full kill.
And you know what? We are seeing these smokes. I might potentially be correct here.
But then I don't know what to think. A fantastic grenade! Buxton, please!
I'm sorry for seeing
Come on!
Beautiful. Taking down the 2 on the lane 4. But they're hopefully going to get the revives. I'm sorry for cursing if the I'm sorry for cursing them if the nade comes out and confirms all 3.
All 4 potentially here. He just needs a follow-up frag, and you can grab the whole squad of Phoenix. Zach now also has to pick up Squig. Steven,
oh no.
Another one? Nope, just a flash.
Get me that.
Finally, Steven gets picked up by Gibbs with some nice shots and evens it out. Actually, now 4v3. Phoenix looking good, running it back against Animal House. Another frag comes out, doesn't land.
That nade was absolutely perfect for stopping Animal House's push there, or rather Phoenix's push, and Gibbs, taken up by Enak, looks like he tried to push out through center and it just didn't work out.
Too Old now going to try and frag out towards Enaker. A nice flash, doesn't successfully land. Enaker hears the footsteps in the rotation from Too Old.
Trying to get some shots over towards Zach Fontaine, but it's going to be too many fences. He can't really see him, but never mind. The headshot onto Zach Fontaine was perfect there.
Enaker doing work to keep Animal House in this. A smoke from Too Old right onto Enaker's position. Almost more distractory as Squig will try and move up and Too Old will move up with 250 left. They got enough time.
Do indeed. I would expect Squiyuken to be the main force for Phoenix here with their final push. He's in a good position to take down Enak and continue over towards the objective with Box Toys.
I think Enaker is pretty aware of this potential push. The shots now, Enaker definitely knows he's around this corner. The calls there. He's got his hand on the radio as Squiyuken utilizes that time. Box Toys has to pop up and pick off these 2, but he's not doing it yet. He's worried about that south push.
Oh, it's really trying for Green Theft Auto there, but Box Toys, why is he not popping up and taking down Too Old? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he has.
He seems so concerned with the East.
If he does pop up, Squig has him, though. I think he just spotted Squig at the sandbags. The shots come out. They don't land. Too Old's trying to hit him through the bushes. Those don't land. Uh-oh, a bad nade off the wire. A flash, rather, off the pole.
Squiyuken knows where he is. He says he's going to go for a suppression on it. That means Too Old's going to be pushing up along the far side here.
Box Toys finally in a solid spot. Too Old is pushing up. Green Theft doesn't have the eyes on. Does pick up Too Old. Animal House hang on to that round. I mean, by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I think the main force for that was that amazing nade from Steven.
Ugh.
I still can't believe a nade from across the map took down 2. That was maximum distance as well. There was no way, if they were a centimeter further, that would have been only 1 kill. That is incredibly lucky, or possibly incredibly practiced. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to take a look. Maybe Steven will tell us after the match.
My question is, how much are you getting paid to make these calls? Because, I mean, geez, Bucks, you really cursed that push.
I'm being paid by Phoenix by the by the rounds.
You're always predicting that. It's reverse psychology. It's brilliant. You predict that Animal House will win so that you can curse them. I mean, everybody, Buxton's taking... What's the price? What's the price per round to curse a squad?
The price per
How much does the
round
curse
is,
cost?
£3 per round.
Okay. 3 pounds of what?
So if you want to
potatoes?
win
I don't know how
a
this
match,
works.
that would be 8 times 3. £24 for a match.
That's like 30 bucks.
Yeah, something like that. 27, something like 28.
How much is it worth? You know, guys, it's out there. You want to curse? You want your enemies cursed? Simply donate to the Onward VRMasterLeague.com website, where you'll take every curse you want for $27, 25 pounds a game.
It's one-time offer only. You only get it once. You can't use it more than once, or you get
God, you're like
cursed yourself.
Wow, you're like a genie of some kind. You have all these rules and stipulations. Phoenix now on the defensive. We'll see if Animal House sort of go with the heavy smoke approach. I'm going to predict the south cross with a bunch of smokes here. Certainly, it'll be successful after my prediction.
That's what I'm feeling as well. That might.
No, dang it, Buxton. Well, now you just. We can never know your feelings or thoughts about the game, but you also have to cast the game. Go.
I've got to stay silent. Okay.
I kid, but it is that south push. It's a little bit faster paced than Phoenix, and they're getting up here real early. Who's that over there defending? Squigookin does have a nice line of sight here. Gun turned sideways, barely exposed, and he's waiting for this push to come out.
There is no way in hell they will ever expect Squigookin to be that kind of 2 pixels on top of a concrete wall. There's no way they'll expect it. If he can take down 1 or maybe 2, that will be a huge boon for early game Phoenix here.
I think Squig's using him out. You can see him shift left and right. You can't decide how he wants to angle it. Steven with a nice nade. Squig had eyes on that.
Took him out.
Wonder if Squig has any utility he can use to sort of shut down as a push. They spot him as he tries to rotate for that res.
Lane 1, lane 1.
That's probably good information for him. Steven might be able to twig. Maybe it'll be some kind of information that rotate rather will be a good indication for that nade landing and taking down 1, but they're not going to capitalize on it, and it's just going to be a push instead.
Green Theft gets himself in a bit of a sticky situation. He's down. A real nice nade comes out and lands on the box. He'll be resable. Gibbs is going up to try and get that confirmation frag on him. None of those shots land. Buxtoys barely escapes with his life.
So Steven's going for the revive though. He's rotated over. Squiggy finally taken down on lane 4 by Will-O-the-Wisp and also Enacker. Nice suppressive fire at the end there.
Frez comes out, and now we're into a 4v4. Animal House really trying to pick up this round, even things out here. Malino's head isn't spotted by Willow, and I don't think Malino can see through those windows. Might be able to see just over the car if he's tall enough.
I believe he can. It looks like he's very slightly crouching, but as long as no more nades from Steven come out towards Mano, I expect he will be able to take down 1, whoever it is.
He just had a
pushing
drop.
Down lane 4-3. Yeah.
Someone just disconnected from Phoenix, turns it into a 4v3 for Animal House now.
Good advantage, an unfortunate one for Phoenix, but Malino is definitely ready to catch these lane 4 crosses.
Willow tries to make it across. No one really takes up red car position there, so I think he's a little surprised. He gets that rotation off really right under the nose of Enacker.
Yeah, he tried to get the shots over there, but I guess the smoke and possibly the range as well really screwed him out of those shots actually hitting their target here. But Buxtoys, he's going to be hunting for Mano as well. Look at this.
Did some shots through the bushes, kind of gave away his position and backs off.
Yeah, and I cursed Buxtoys' push up that lane too.
Well, if we keep track of everything, Buxton, it's going to get overwhelming, okay? I mean, I know you're charging on a per curse fee here, but
I've got to stick as many curses as possible into every single cast.
oh God, this is bad. Pretty soon nobody's going to want you to cast their games anymore.
They'll veto me out in the sit room.
I get my game cast, but just not by Buxton, because I'm not trying to get my shit cursed. No, that would never happen. That sultry voice will always be in the hearts.
Resist.
Yeah, it's in the hearts of the community.
Steven might be able to snag 2 ult here on lane 1. He's kind of distracted looking over towards center, and he just move around far lane 1 and snag his back.
Malino finds Buxtoys over there on that east corner as he tried to cross that street as well. Also picking up Enacker, missed those 2 kills as we try and see Steven shots out towards 2 ult don't land.
That was a really nice rotation from Mano there. He did kind of a slicing the pie to get Enacker as he came around that fence. That was a beautiful thing to see. A work of art, if I say so myself.
Despite that disconnect, Phoenix are looking good in that 3v1 advantage, and Steven with his approach is not the right one. They're going to have him pretty much shot on all sides.
Yeah, definitely. And again, Steven, the last man left. It's definitely a pattern. I'm not sure exactly how.
What the heck?
He gets the revives. He seems to be the guy that falls back quite often to get the revives and the nade pickups and things like that.
Doesn't have to worry about that east member. Does have to worry about 2 ult. The shots come out. He almost gets hit, rotates back around. This rotation has to be heard by Gibbs. 2 ult probably expecting it too. The call-outs come out. little free fire through this wood would end his day as he tries to come out and pick up Gibbs. Too old lands the shots.
I'm not sure what Steven's plan was there. He did only have 30 seconds left, but I think he could have approached that a little bit more ceremoniously instead of just running around the corner, focusing on the member of Animal House by the building instead of the one that can see him clearly from the car.
Yeah, I think maybe he had thought that he had confirmed that kill there on that white car, so he was going around that corner under the assumption he was trying to double down and just couldn't land those shots.
Yeah.
Looks like Zach Fontaine was that member from Phoenix who dropped. But either way, I mean, the rest of the Phoenix squad is really dominant. I mean, 5-4-4, putting up some good scores right now.
Yeah, they're definitely not messing about. Phoenix is a scary team.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up against them because they scare me. They're beating Animal House here, which in itself is also kind of a scary team to go up against. Because I don't know what it is, but something about these two teams, you just don't really know much about them. It feels like nobody in the league really knows. They're kind of enigmatic. They're hard to decipher.
Well, I mean, it's the thing about these. I mean, even I wouldn't consider either one of these teams new, but just squads that are now starting to step up their game. Teams that aren't normally in the top 4 are right up in there. I mean, I feel like the top 8 teams right now are all deservedly could be a top 4 team. You know what I mean? Like any one of these teams has the potential to be up in the high in the rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some secret formula to push them through that kind of final barrier to get into the top 4, though. Someone's going to discover it eventually. Who is the question?
Yeah, it is not easy. Those teams really put in a lot of work. Phoenix, I think, has probably been putting in a lot of work the way they're playing, though. They're being very organized, good communication. They're playing strong together. They're very focused, you know, not really any horsing around. They're looking good.
Yeah. This is a garage objective, a harder one to attack for Marsoc. Just curious to see who will take this. I'm expecting Animal House. There you go. Chaos per match.
Wow. They must have really...
I'm expecting to take this, but Phoenix, considering how well they've been playing, they might be able to pull something out of a draw here.
Pretty standard spread here. Steven across the South Street. BuxtonWater in the corner. Well-placed smokes and nades can deny a lot of vision from that middle house where they have another 2 set up. See how
That's very interesting. That smoke thrown by Gibbs there, it landed on top of the tank and it appears to be hovering, eternally falling and not actually popping off.
That's fun. BuxtonWater's trying to peek and find Gibbs through the shrubs. Isn't going to do it. A nade comes up and over. Real nice airburst gets BuxtonWater. Zach hears that down scream, knows he has the kill. He's going to send another one out, try and confirm it.
Steven's going to be ready watching that corner, though. They know they're going to be going for that confirmation. That might a nade confirmation instead.
Steven did see the cross. The callouts are there. He's going to try to send a frag of his own. A nice toss. This should find Zach. Or too old? No, just a bit too far. Zach picks up Steven. Squig finds Green Theft. Members of Animal House dropping left and right. Phoenix trying to grab themselves the series. Willow goes down from Malno. It's all up to Enacker, who's in middle house.
Mayno's actually going for the cap now. He's heading over towards the South Street. Enacker probably has no idea he's the last one left.
No, they definitely don't know he's up there. Finally, the shots and the refrag, and Phoenix take the series against Animal House very handedly. Wow.
Yeah, they've played so well this match. That's not something I expected. Though, admittedly, considering they paid me for the curse, I probably should have.
Some good scores there on the board, 6, 6, and 5. Relatively evenly spread amongst those 3. But me oh my, Phoenix, I mean, 4-1 on Cargo, 4-1 on Suburbia. They're not a team you want to take on close quarter maps.
Absolutely not. I'd be interested to see how they'll play on Downfall, which might be the next map. I'm hoping it is. It'll be nice to see if it is their kind of kryptonite. It could be good information for Animal House to use in future if they ever go up against Phoenix again.
Very, very true. I wouldn't also be surprised to see another substitution potentially out of Phoenix. I know they have all 8 strong on their roster now, and so maybe they'll want to rotate in that final member, get him some play time. it is always good to make sure your whole squad is ready to play at any given time, so that, you know, when you go to OC5, you can bring in those subs, keep everybody fresh for games if you get caught into a long losers bracket series, all sorts of stuff. I guess you wouldn't be going to OC5 anymore, you'd be going to OC6. That's the new future, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, right?
They're having, they're being indecisive with their map pick. Yeah, they still haven't decided, or maybe they have. Yeah, and it is going to be Downfall.
Okay, so we're getting a little diversity in our picks at least, which is always nice to have.
No, I've been right about all of my map picks so far this match. Maybe that's the one thing I'm not cursed with.
We all excel at something unique, right, Buxton?
Yeah, absolutely. My kind of uniqueness is just cursing people.
Like a witch doctor. I don't know what he's doing over there. I'm going to spend some time trying to open up this Gatorade bottle. We'll see if I have any luck, everybody. Tune in as I grab my shirt, grab hold of the Gatorade, and twist with all my might. Hit! Wow. This thing is made out of steel. All I want is a little hydration between rounds, but we're out in the desert. Who needs it? Real men get blisters trying to open a Gatorade bottles, right? Anyway. We are hopping into Downfall. We are waiting for all members to ready up. It looks like we should be getting into this round any moment. If you are just tuning in, you've missed pretty much the whole series. Phoenix have been putting on a show today, really doing well. Good teamwork, good coordination, very strong performance, going up 4-1 on Cargo and 4-1 on Suburbia. Finally getting ourselves into a long-range map. We'll see if they can pick themselves a third map in the series. Animal House trying to grab themselves up off the floor.
Yeah, I expect Animal House to be kind of relaxed here. They're not playing for anything kind of extreme now. They've lost the match, but they can still claw back some MMR.
I think they may have seen that fast spawn. I hear Squig and Malno considering pushing aggressively into two-story.
Yeah, I do think they did see it. And Mano, he's got that flashlight ready. He's ready for it.
Two are going to be sent around to rotate. Squig and Malno pushing up aggressively. Squig getting up here trying to find Willow. A nice flash onto Willow, but Willow pushes forward, threw it up to the wall. Malno finds Box as he tries to come out. I don't know where those shots came out. Willow now pushing up. He's inside to the back of Squig. A nice shot. I don't think he expects another one to be inside yet with him. Malno here might be able to find this. Wow, he did get him!
Unbelievable, but will he expect also the other members across the street and up at Twins? Because I don't think he will expect Zach Fontaine in North Twins Darkroom here, because there's going to be an issue, and they're likely going to have to take him out if they want to kind of progress over towards the objective.
I mean, Willow really stepping up his game with these plays. Gibbs might be able to find a couple. Can he get the third? He does. Willow is looking for the squad wipe again as he's managed to grab 3.
It looks like Will Worcester's complaining about giving ammos to his teammates. He's complaining about how he's now run out or something along those lines. And Box Toys was taken down by, that is Zach Fontaine doing the work from the two-story.
Yeah, he's now starting to get suppressed. More shots coming up to him. He gets picked off by, I think it's Enacker. Yes, it was. Some nice shots from him. Willow now pushing up on the Two-Old. Two-Old here. He's spotted. Finds Willow on the push. It's all up to Two-Old to defend against the final 2 from Animal House. He spots the second one as he tries to cross. Now it's up to Enacker to take on Two-Old.
Could Two-Old clutch this? That is a very big question. If Enacker pushed up along with Willow, it could have possibly been a nice takedown for him and they would have won the round already.
Enacker keeps Animal House in it. They grab themselves their first round on Marsoc, yeah. Nice
and smooth for them. They had a little bit of trouble with the very start, But they smoothed it out by the end. They took down Twins. They took down one of the guys on the objective. And then they just waltzed on in, and Inaka got very lucky with the trade, with the almost trade there.
Yeah, he is really, he hung on by the skin of his teeth that round.
But you can see on the scoreboard there, Will-O-the-Wisp, he's been doing work with that SA-80, giving out ammo to his team and also precision fire to his enemies.
Really strong round for him there. See if he can keep up that momentum, maybe grab Animal House a map here. They sort of need to salvage the damage done since they're down so many points this series already. If they can manage to grab this map 4-0 or 4-1 themselves, it'll definitely help lighten that blow.
Yeah, absolutely. But considering the difference of the teams we're having here is Animal House and Phoenix, Animal House being number 4 and Phoenix being number 10, that is only a difference of 10 MMR, so either way, regardless of if they win or lose this, the MMR penalty should hopefully not be too much, but it all does depend on the hidden MMR, so we're going to have to wait until see after the match's score has been put in on the VRML website before we actually know how much the teams have been affected by this.
Mirrored spawns here, they get that quick one. Animal House not checking early, and they may have missed any movements out of Phoenix. Yeah, they didn't spot him.
Yeah, they can't actually no, it's also a return quick spawn. That's what? Gibbs? Alright, yes. For some reason I thought the round hadn't started. I don't know what I'm doing.
Enacker almost took his rounds there as he pushed up pretty exposed on that street. He does find Tooled as he tries to cross out.
It looks like Mano might be the only one trying to go for the kind of close push on the objective here. Maybe along with Toad if he gets resurrected by Gibbs or someone peeling back.
He did smoke him. He is going to peek looking for Enacker. Doesn't find him. Enacker doesn't land any shots out towards Malno.
This is such a tight defense though. 4 people in the same objective building. That is insane. I don't think I've ever seen that for this kind of objective here.
I feel like they almost kind of got caught out because they were setting themselves up to be in a position for the other spawn because they had presumed that this wasn't where they were.
Yeah. Planning for one spawn is typically never a good idea, especially if you put too much time into it. Otherwise it kind of locks you into thinking of the plans you laid out because you don't really want to waste the time you spent on them. They really should and just formulate new plans on the fly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going.
they're in not in a good position here. You don't really want to have everybody piled into this house.
Yeah. The fact that someone isn't going south just yet. We do have a member of Phoenix coming around the eastern flank, and it was the Will-O-the-Wisp, I believe. No, it's Zach Fontaine. I expect him to come around south, and when he does get south, he will decimate them. There is no question about that. Their defense will completely shatter then, along with Green Theft Auto's skull from the bullet from Mano there.
Yeah, Green Theft getting a little greedy there. Enacker also going to try and maybe potentially peek this. Malno almost loses his head from Willow. Couple of frags coming out. BuxtonWater almost gets team fragged.
Yeah, that was questionable. 2 friendly nades on the objective right next to where BuxtonWater was. Not entirely sure what they were thinking there.
BuxtonWater does land the shots. Some good headshots on the Malno. That's an instant death. Willow finds Gibbs on the cross. Tooled and Squigookin trying to get any refrags they can.
Oh god, NightFiree the overlay.
I know, it's too late.
Oh god.
I found it at the very end of the round, so they can just deal with it. I didn't want to bring anything up because I don't like talking about it.
Team kill from Squiggy there.
I don't know why you would do that. You know that you have a second member in that building. Sets him back another member, and now it's 2v4.
Yeah, he's going to be an incredibly rough situation here, though. The south guy, he's still doing work in the far south hills there. He's not given away his position yet, though he only has 3 minutes remaining. What is his plan?
Yeah, he went for that real long rotation. He's up on that hilltop trying to find any picks. He doesn't even have the gun or the scope to do it, though. That AUG.
I have seen the AUG used to great effectiveness considering that it has the included foregrip, and the hollow sight's quite nice on it, though. It's identical on all the weapons. It just feels slightly better than the other guns at long range for me.
Ooh, Zach finally does get spotted out. Steven picks up Squig as he tries to rotate out, and now it is all up to Zach.
You know, I think whoever shot at Zach Fontaine in the south, I think that might have been Squiggy.
Yeah, I think that was too.
There's a bit of a miscommunication. Squiggy trying for a second team kill.
Ooh, Zach should be able to catch Enac or some easy shots there. Willow should be next on his list, but I don't think he knows he's over there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan was here, but he's doing it pretty well anyway. As long as he can snag Steven, he should be in a very good way for actually pushing over towards the objective.
Yeah, I know Steven's there now. Steven's trying to find some pot shots. None of those are going to really land successful. Maybe he's just sort of trying to suppress Zach, since he only has a minute 15 now to push up onto objective. Oh no, that smoke gets trapped in the trees.
That's unfortunate. The smoke tree. It's actually providing horrible cover. It's blocking his view of Steven. Something for him. He's going to peek this corner. Steven is going to be waiting for him to come around here.
I think Willow also has a decent line of sight if Zach gets 2 out. In about 45 seconds left, he's pushing up. Steven's tucked himself in. I think this Animal House squad is really just waiting for Zach to make the move.
Yeah, though nobody's on the first floor here. As long as Steven goes
down,
this is cap territory.
He's in the bottom story. He's camping right now.
What is going on?
Wow, Willow realizes it from the other side. Did call it out on the radio.
That was incredibly scary. If Willow hadn't had good eyesight there, that might have been a 2-point loss for Animal House. That was very scary to watch from the bird's eye view.
You're right, Squig was trying to tack on himself another team kill that round, going for 2.
Having a -2 in a league match is definitely not something you want to see ever. Because getting the -2 means A, you didn't kill anybody to make up for the team kill, and B, you've killed 2 friendlies, possibly in the same rounds, and you might as well have just shot yourself in the foot at the start. Now at least Squig may have the chance to avenge himself on the 3rd round with the West Bungalow objective offense. Well, a defense for him.
Yeah, and I mean, this one is, I don't know, an interesting one. I haven't seen a cap on this objective. I mean, I don't think ever. I mean, not this season, not last season. It's actually very rare you see caps on objectives at all on Downfall.
Yeah, except for maybe the dumpster objectives, like mainly the West dumpster objective, but I've only seen a cap on West West Bungalow objective maybe once, twice, at least in my memory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see if Animal House are the true innovators and if they'll be able to 10 smoke objective and push up on it.
Yeah, they are trading some mags as usual already between, weirdly, Box Toys and Enaka both having standard capacity mags. But I think I might have seen one from Willow thrown out over there.
Watch the bungalows.
They're going to send 2 north, 3-2 split. Kind of looks like a kill box formation from Phoenix. They're not spreading out too much, not really exposing themselves too much for angles.
This is pretty standard. I feel like I've got a little bit of deja vu of Squiggy in the northwest road here behind the wall of the Vault White Tower. I feel like I've seen him do this before and to great effect.
Yeah, it's a real strong position. Typically, you actually see teams now against, you know, top tier teams like, I guess, Phoenix. They'll pre-fire this wall as they make moves, just because you're almost expecting somebody to be here. So see if he can work with that, maybe find himself a pick or two. They actually have a couple of guys sort of spread out along that wall coverage. Malno also across the street, too old. And there's that pre-fire on the squig I was talking about.
Has given away their position, but I believe it's the guys in the south that are going to be doing most of their work. Look at those smokes, 5 of them.
Squig trying to catch the guys in the north. He's not going to do it. The smokes, yeah, heavy and plentiful. Zach is getting up and in there. Might be able to find 2 through the window. Doesn't. Turns around, knows they're pushing. He has their back. Steven gets picked, but the res, Willow, with that res.
I'm not sure how they didn't hear him after he popped that one shot right over Willow's head. They kind of just walked past it.
That little team fire, too, it looks like, down to that middle building.
Probably.
Either way, they're in. Green Theft also tucked in. 3 inside center building on this objective is not something you want if you're defending, and they've really lost control of South here.
Yeah, they definitely have, but Squiggy is still aware of the north, even though the northern guys have fallen back and are now in the center of the map, just on the eastern side. So they're going to be giving some very nice overwatch, and 2 old taken out by Willow's nice SA-80 fire as usual, it seems.
Just really on point with those shots. Malno probably the last one that's going to be able to grab any picks here. Willow finds Gibbs in those windows. Willow with an amazing shot, finally getting refragged by Malno.
Yeah, Maynard's in a really good position here to stop any cappers coming up. You really don't see this position very often, kind of by the wall of the west red tarp. It's quite a strange one, but oddly powerful, actually.
In a 2v4 situation, not looking good for Phoenix. They need to find themselves a few more picks. They can deny this middle house entry. It'll be big news for them. Malno trying to grab that center push, and he's under a lot of fire.
Yeah, second he peeks that again, he's going to die if he stays there. There's going to be a nade from Steven or Green Theft in about T-minus 10 nanoseconds. If they even have any nades, I hope they do.
Looks like he's
Maino
actually...
does have one.
Yeah. Pretty decent toss, but probably something you'd want to hold on to for a little bit later. Squig also exposing his rotated position there, and he's getting suppressed.
Squig looks like he might be going for a kind of rotation towards the other window. It's probably a best move, but he's given away his position so much. BuxtonWater's going to be ready for him the second he comes up along the side of this building. Squig's rotating to the other side of the building. What's going on there?
I think he took some shots in that 2-story window. They know he's up there. Enacker's trying to hit him. Frags come out. BuxtonWater manages to get underneath. Squig tries to come out and drop down. He gets punished. Now it's all up to Malno across from objective. Phoenix in a position where they can potentially grab themselves... Or sorry, Animal House could grab themselves the win here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible for them, though. I don't believe that Maino will actually give that up. He's going to rush the objective, or possibly BuxtonWater is just going to rush him instead. There's no way he will give up a cap here. They should definitely know that Maino is the last one left on the west side, and that they can potentially just collapse in on them and get the nice and easy 1 point.
Ooh, Maino, even in the odds a little bit, grabs himself 1. Gonna have to kill a couple more, sending out a little distractory flash. I don't think that lands. Green Theft with the rotation almost gets caught out by Maino.
It blinded Steven, actually, and Steven is going for the cap on the objective right now. Green Theft's going to be suppressing him.
Maino's somewhat aware of that. He's looking for that shot. I wonder if Green Theft's trying to get the kill here or just suppressing.
He's definitely going to be suppressing. Never mind, Enak ruined it.
Steven upset with his squad. They could have taken that map 4-0. Either way, they go into the Volk defensive up 3-0, and they're looking good trying to take this map.
They are indeed. And Willow, he's really been like a man possessed this map. 8-2 so far on the 3rd round.
Holy moly, this guy. Yeah, his shots have been on point. He's been really quick to them and landing the, I mean, like, good shots too. Deserved score there. No really kill confirmed steals or anything like that. He's been the one that's been getting those headshots.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we saw him take down 2 from the center house position before he finally lost his life. And he picked the people in really important positions. He picked 2 old in the objective building, the west bungalow building, and also the north helicopter position where Squeakin later rotated onto. And those are 2 really important picks for that objective.
Are going in.
How do you think Phoenix will lay out their offense for this round?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're going into that same objective spawn. I'm unsure. I think at this point you're probably not too concerned with the outcome. Maybe you want to grab a few points, keep your honor at least. Try and take your 3rd map. It's always good if you can, you know. But maybe Phoenix have just sort of rolled over. So they could have go one of 2 ways, right? Push up aggressive, try and find themselves some picks, maybe get punished for it. Or stick with your normal kill box sort of defense style here.
Yeah. Just to make sure you don't have it up for the possibly final round. Is the overlay not there? Silence, hopefully, is a good answer. Animal House are definitely not concerned with possibly losing this round. They're happy being 3-0 up. They're doing the Macarena and Spawn.
A very loose team.
Yeah. Especially that Steven character.
Oh my god, I won't curse and act like a psycho. Ah!
See, he thinks I told him to not curse and act like a psycho. I told him, because he said he was going to start doing casts. And that's where I was concerned.
I love you too, Steven. Is that true, NightFiree? Didn't buy Steven didn't buy you a beer, and that's why you don't like him.
All right. Well, first off, all the beers. I don't even think anybody bought any beers. Beers were just getting thrown around everywhere for free. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, so far nothing in North.
But second off, yeah, he didn't buy me a beer. It's very true.
Yeah, he should have just thrown money at you instead. Just get the kind of idea of buying away.
Killed all purpose.
Enac
Really nice early pick from
yeah.
Enac there.
An insanely tight shot right there, confirming the kill now. Phoenix going down an early 1.
They're coming from Ravine.
This is a really slow offense from Phoenix starting off with. This is not what I expected for possibly a comeback round, especially with what Maino's doing in the far south here. And again, Phoenix doesn't need a comeback round. They've already won. They don't care.
Yeah, but I don't know why you would play it slow. I mean, we'll see. We got some time on our hands, it looks like. Gibbs, crouch walking, too old. He's in a bit of a sticky spot, because if he tries to move out from that position, he's going to get punished by Enactor.
Quite an interesting defense starting off here. It's quite solid. They're not really peeking too many dangerous positions. They've got kind of a 5-point square on the objective. Very, very solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think the north approach would have been the right answer against this defense here from Animal House, but Phoenix stacking a couple south. They're kind of playing into the strong hand of Animal House's defense. More shots from Enactor on that 2-story.
South Ravine. There's a guy at Ravine / all-purpose building shooting at the top floor of the hotel.
Trying to deal with Too Old and Maino. He's having trouble.
Yeah, but we have some nice precision sniper fire coming up from Green Theft. Over towards Zach Fontaine's position on the upper right truck window. He's falling out and he knows he's there.
South bungalow, those shots.
3 minutes left. They're slowly collapsing in, which is good to see. They're nice and coordinated.
West Street South.
I'm not sure what Maynard was doing in the south initially, but Gibbs at least is in a good position to possibly take down Enactor.
Yeah, Enactor is aware, though, looking right at him as Gibbs peeked up. So that's 2 for Enactor now. Gonna go back to looking at that angle. Might see that nade come out. Doesn't see Malino and his movements in the smoke.
What we might see is possibly the starting of a push from the north now. It does appear that Zach Fontaine is starting to push down the right truck. And most people are kind of occupied with the southern side.
Oh.
Except for the sniper.
Wow, really nice shot through the window, through the entryway to that door, to that room.
Yeah, he just went in the dumpster.
That was a beautiful shot from them right there. That was go through, what, 2 windows and the doorway to catch him.
Yeah, that was very nice. Now it's up to Enacker to sort of deny this south entry from Too Old and Malino. He knows both of them are here.
But with Animal still having 5 up, this is definitely looking like a confirmed round win. Oh, never mind, there goes Green Theft.
Too Old trying to even out the score a little bit. Green Theft is resable, so information is going to be coming out. It's going to be really hard for them to cross.
Yeah, there is no possible way they can actually successfully cross it. You can see Too Old already taking a lot of heat from Steven in the northwest there, but he still managed to survive it. Interesting position for Mano to take by the sandbag, so you don't see it taken very often. And there goes Too Old.
I think
Mano, the poor man.
Enacker is looking over at Mano. He's got a minute left. He's up against 4 members of Animal House, and it looks like Animal House are going to manage to grab this round. He does find himself another pick. 51 seconds now. Tons of rounds coming out towards him. He has a few bits of wall here for coverage, but they're not enough. Steven finally confirming the kill. Grabs Animal House 1 of 3 maps. It's something.
It is something to have the final clawback and even out the score, which you should have on board. Be interesting to see what the final score is.
Tally it all up here. Phoenix going 0 for that round. Actually exactly what Animal House need. Puts them at a total of 8-6, so really not too much of a blow to the MMR. And overall, a pretty close series.
Absolutely. And I think this really demonstrates that Phoenix's kryptonite is long-range maps, as you can see on Downfall, 4 and 0 compared to 4-1, 4-2, I believe, on the smaller maps.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, that was the test to see if they were going to be able to deal with that. Taking a look at their bans again, they did ban Bazaar as well, so that's kind of one of... I don't know, it's interesting that they wouldn't ban Downfall instead, but maybe now they're starting to recognize a weak link in their chain, because they were looking very good on Cargo and Suburbia.
Well, indeed. But considering they banned Bazaar, I'm not really sure why.
Yeah,
they must be really unconfident on it if they didn't ban Bazaar Downfall instead.
Interesting choices. But we got ourselves a tight series, and it's just the start of the week. We have a bunch of other great matches coming up this week.
You indeed, like we have a little self-plug here. Silent Purge versus Boss Fight and Silent Purge versus Beginners. Saturday and Sunday, 8 PM BST, the same time.
Oh, those will be two solid series. Taking a look at this, we also have Beginners and Silent... Oh, yeah, that's what you're just talking about. Sorry, G-Men and Globochem scheduled as well. That should be a fun series to watch. Dangler's Stone Cold Killers should be close. That's on Sunday. SMC Tactical versus Legionnaires on Friday. I mean, there's some really solid matches going on this week. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be covered. I mean, I'm going to cast at least 2 more this week. So...
hopefully we can get some nice glimpses of those matches with your hand in them.
Yeah, we will see, but I think that is going to be it from us here at the VR Master League. Buxton, do you have any final words, good sir?
I don't believe I do, but we did see a new guy in chat. Welcome to the VR Master League. Welcome to Onward, the community. I hope you enjoy your stay and enjoy your time.
Yeah, I suspect that we'll be drawing in some unfamiliar faces to Onward. Now and in the near future, this esport definitely picking up in hype, and OC5 did nothing but promote the game in a good way, so I think we'll see some more interest as the season continues. That'll be it from us at the Master League. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, hit that follow button. If you have Twitch Prime, Hit that subscribe button. Support goes back to the league. Helps us run all of this. But that's it. We'll see you later this week for some more action. Don't miss it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.